Stop giving things to people for free. Now, I know this is going to be a controversial take and we're going to have to unpack it. Long term, you are doing yourself and other people a huge disservice by continuously not only giving things away for free, but feeling as if there's this moral obligation to do so. And hear me out here because I'm going to explain this. For a long portion of my life, and even to this day, I would agree that I've always been more on the side of giving too much away for free. I've hinted at it a little bit over the years on YouTube. I've let people stay with me up to like a year where they've lived with me in one of my homes for free, not paying for food or rent, and I provided everything. I've given people full access to my $5 or $10 or $15,000 events, coaching, whatever, for free. I don't know how many times to homeless people, giving them $50 bills, $100 bills. Like I've gone out of my way to do a lot of like extra things for free for people, just out of the kindness of my heart. Now, although I still do a lot of things that extend gratitude and I give service to others, I've drawn a hard line with just giving things away for free for many reasons. Number one, let's say you do give to somebody for free in abundance. You will have that 1 in a million where that person will be so appreciative. They'll take it, right? They'll, take that money that you gave them or whatever, that little bit of morsel of food, whatever it was that you gave them, and they'll go and they'll use that as fuel to change their life around or get things going and just start marching at a completely different pace. You will find outliers like that, absolutely. That's not the norm though. What you'll notice in the vast majority of the cases is you give people shelter, they'll get lazy. You give them food, they'll stop looking for food and even attempting to provide for themselves. You give people a break, they now expect the break and they start relying on it and they stop becoming resourceful. One of the interesting things about this is, although it's difficult to be in these positions sometimes, especially when it comes to food and financially, it activates something that's been laying so dormant inside of the human being for so long that it pushes people to achieve and accomplish things that they never thought that they would be able to do. And it makes them better as a result of that. By you becoming more resourceful and having to dig deep, long term, this is the key. Short term, sure, some gratification, some help. Long term, detriment. By allowing people to face these hardships and having to push through and activate and dig deep to pull out that resourcefulness, long term, they will benefit from it tremendously, tremendously. I could even think of a friend of mine who I won't name names. He moved out to South Florida. I told him he wanted to get out of California. I said, look, dude, I'll even front money for you to move. I sent him over $5,000 to make the move. You can stay with me until you get on your feet, right? He got a job. He was fine, wasn't paying me rent. I took care of food. I took care of everything. At that time, I was expanding and opening up my second office at that time here in Miami. He wanted to start his own business. I said, hey, until I get things up and running, I can give you a piece of the warehouse side of my second office and you can use it for your business. Now, what happened in the end? You fast forward another year, he ended up moving back to California, never started the business, never did anything, even though he had everything available to him, every opportunity to do it, removed every barrier. Now, again, you will find people who will take advantage of that and go all out. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. However, the vast majority of people, whether you think so or not, are going to do what my friend did. And this isn't to diss him or anything. It's just the circumstances almost create that most of the time. These barriers, these artificial barriers, whatever you want to call them, physical, artificial, emotional barriers, whatever they're put there for a reason. Now, this is my opinion, but I believe because in order for you to earn what's on the other side of it, you're going to have to push and make it through those barriers, if that makes sense, right? It's no different than hitting plateaus when you work out or anything like that, where you have to push and increase your sets and reps and all that. I'm experiencing that right now in calisthenics. As I'm getting stronger, my body's starting to adapt and I have to start pushing myself harder to make incremental gains. But these barriers that are being smashed allow me to unlock the next skill and the next level. It's no different with this. I look at my genre right now, right? I'm in sales and I started in real estate. Although I've expanded farther beyond real estate, I look at the real estate industry right now and it's suffering tremendously because of this. The late millennials and Gen Zers have come in and they've been so accustomed to everybody just throwing a bunch of free stuff at them that they're forgetting that they're entrepreneurs, and they're coming in with a 9 to 5 mentality as an entrepreneur, thinking they're going to have a boss, or you're going to give me training, you're going to give me this all for free. They think they're going to join a real estate company and they believe they're entitled to, and they expect free training, free everything, even though they're becoming an entrepreneur. The interesting part is if you take these individuals and you had them open up a clothing store, start any kind of other entrepreneurial endeavor, a retail store, whatever it is, they wouldn't have that expectation. But these influencers and all these people in the social media era has fed this lie to people and expectation where now everyone's oh, you should just give me this for free. Just like for years, I've had people try to tear me down. It's only a small subsect of people, but because I charge or I do coaching and all that, even though I myself coming up in the sales and entrepreneur world spent, and I have to this day, and I continue to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars between events, material, coaching, training, all kinds of stuff. I've had to take tests. Like when I got certified in a branch of hypnosis, I had to take a test to qualify before I was able to even apply and then spend $10,000 for this one thing to learn. I had to apply for it and pass before I was then even given the opportunity to spend the money to learn. Different mentalities though. I never came into entrepreneurship, sales, or real estate ever expecting a handout. I knew I was gonna have to earn it every step of the way. But see, this stuff gets conditioned into people now. And that's why I'm saying stop giving things away for free. Well, Bryan, you give stuff away for free. Sure, a little bit, right? Like I have resources in the description. You'll get on the email list. But if anybody wants to coach and train with me seriously or do something, they're going to have to pay. I'm not just going to do it for free. Or every once in a while, I'll do events and all that stuff. Of course, I give back. Somebody contacts me. Hey, can you do a training for my team? Of course. Yeah, I'll do it. But en masse, this is how crazy it got back in the day, y'all. I remember I almost felt that, and this is where I mentioned it in the beginning. You start feeling this internal obligation. And the reason that you want to check that is for this reason. People will use that against you. They will attempt to emotionally manipulate you. Like you'll even find it in my comment section. Oh, but you're doing so well. You should just give everything away for free. That's emotional manipulation. These are people just trying to get over and get something for free. Now, the interesting part is, like I said in the beginning too, if you give it to them for free, they're not going to take advantage of it. Do an event, right? We'll get back to the moral obligation. Do a free event, 100 signups, 20 or 30 people will show up. That same event, you force people to pay $50 or $100 or even a small fee, your show up rate will increase to 80 or 90%. Why? They had to put skin in the game. Now they have something to lose. But let's go back to that moral obligation, right? It got so out of control for me before I finally cut it off and started doing masterminds and all that. I remember there'd be days where I would show up to my office where I started in California. And while I was cold calling, I had 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people in my office listening to me make cold calls. I'd go door to door. I had that same group of people going with me because I felt this obligation to help and give back. Oh, can I shadow you? Can I pick your brain? You guys know all that stuff, right? Can you imagine the pressure that you would feel with 8 people staring at you while you cold call? While you're just doing your job. Same thing going door to door. I have to sit there with the homeowner and it's like, yeah, we're not Christmas carolers. These are just people who are shadowing me. You know how awkward that is? That makes my job more difficult. So I started sacrificing myself just to try to help other people. No. You see, this is where you start losing yourself in that process. Now, if somebody wants to come back at me or anybody and say, well, you guys just charge and this and that, man, you can't say that because look at all these free videos. Like if you look at my old channel, 3,000 videos, this new one now, my podcast, all the free stuff I've done on Instagram and Facebook. Sure, I've run businesses and made money, but I've given people thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of free stuff. So it's not that we don't give in abundance, but you have to do this thing properly. You give people some things for free, absolutely. If somebody's dying on the street, I'm going to pick them up and give them a bath and give them a change of clothes. I'll help them, right? Because we're not talking about those extreme scenarios. I'm just talking in general here. It's getting out of control. It absolutely is. It's getting crazy. But that moral obligation people will try to use against you and manipulate you. Because I remember when I cut off those people shadowing me, all of a sudden I was a jerk. The same people that I extended that stuff to, some of them complained and said I was an asshole or fake all of a sudden because I just don't want to give you all my free time. Dude, you want me to sacrifice my time for myself and my business to help you? Because it's one thing for you to extend and help people where it doesn't cost you anything. It's another thing where you start compromising yourself, your business, your future to help others. You see? But this is where that moral obligation starts working against you because you start operating in a way that's to your own detriment. And that's not good. That's no good. Why would you do that? That's anti-survival. Whenever you operate in a manner that's anti-survival, your DNA as a human being will punish you. It will punish you, and rightly so. Why are you trying to hurt yourself? It doesn't make any sense. But this is how crazy that social fabric is in society and how deeply embedded it is into us to be good little boys and girls. It's nuts. To where we will start working against ourselves and becoming an agent of our own destruction. So, bigger point is, I've always demonstrated to myself, I'm not going to expect anything for free. Whenever events came up, I paid VIP. I showed up first. I left last. I paid extra. I always committed first and did coaching, training, read the books. I did all that stuff. That's why I won't hesitate to tell people to do the same. I don't care what people's opinions are about that. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. But how are you going to become the best or good at anything if you don't dedicate yourself at that level? What did they do back in the day? The warriors, the samurais and all that. They dedicated themselves to their sensei and committed their life to them. And that wasn't free. You paid in service and many other things, or whatever the denomination was back then or form of payment. But understand how not only this messes up other people, but you too. Think about to the extent that we'll go to save a penny or two. People will climb over each other to grab some free swag bag or something and hurt themselves and other people for nothing. But long term, you have to see the consequences of this. If you just get used to getting everything for free, so much so that, again, your muscles atrophy, you stop thinking, you stop working as hard, you're not willing to go out and push. Well, of course, any sort of achievement's going to be difficult for you or challenging. You just expect everything for free. That's wrecking people in the real estate world right now, which is the main world that I operate in and still am around and teaching. And it breaks my heart. You see posts, F this company, they promised to give me leads. Who owes you leads? Why would any business where you're an entrepreneur, where you have to run your own business, how could you dare come in expecting anything for free? It just blows my mind. And then some people try to make me to be out the bad guy for saying that. Who owes you anything? I remember when I got into real estate and sales, 12, almost 13 years ago now, I was excited if anybody even talked to me. And now everyone's like sending mass emails. Oh, I'm interviewing people. It's like, dude, you're a new licensee in real estate. The balls that you have, some of the emails that I got from people or even phone calls or texts, it would blow your guys' mind. People talking to me as if I owe them something. I owe them time and attention just because, I got my real estate license. Like, who are you, dude? And you can smell it through their emails and their conversations. I've had people do a free strategy call with me and be like, oh, well, you should be happy that I'm doing this. Motherfucker, you're the one that needs help, not me. So I put my time aside from my busy schedule to talk to you and give you a little bit of help, and you're going to come in entitled as if I owe you something? Now, I know I'm not crazy here, but we have to see this for what it is. Now, the moment you switch that mentality for you, you not only help other people, but most importantly, you help yourself. Because now you're operating from a much cleaner slate and you attack entrepreneurship, sales, real estate, whatever it is. You attack it differently. You're not going out with your hands out. You're never the victim. You take full responsibility, accountability, and you do whatever it is that you need to do. As time is going on, when I look at my business, getting people to commit to my team or my higher ticket, more expensive stuff is becoming easier. Getting people to buy something that I sell, like my 90-day sprint for $1,000. Oh man, the questions I get is crazy. People want a full one-on-one call for an hour explaining it, more information. It's like, dude, there's no more information. Just sign up. I'm going to do that for my coaching, not for, a 90-day sprint. But that's a lower ticket item. Yet I have people committing faster and easier for more money. But it's all up here. It's because the people who are nitpicking or questioning everything hold a penny or a dollar so tight because they're anti-investment, anti-taking any risk, versus the people over here who have understood the concept in this video and some other ones. Their mind is moving differently. They know, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, and there's no block or hesitation now. It's more along the lines of, does this fit with me and my journey and where I want to go? Not, well, you need to prove this and that to me. So stop giving things away for free. Stop taking things for free. And you're going to notice a radical shift. And this, I might get a lot of shit for this video in this current era. That's fine. But you got to pay your dues, y'all. You got to pay your dues. And if you try to skip that or take the easy route or, oh, I'm going to fool everybody, you're not going to. And all you're going to do is damage yourself and other people in the long term. Okay? Let me know what you got from this video. Anything else I can do to help you guys, let me know. Take a moment to hit the thumbs up. Drop a comment for the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you on the next video. All right, peace.